Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Dr. Jason Dean, drjasondean.com, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. Hopefully, as I walk around in beautiful nature, no crosses in the sky, real clouds. Shocker, Central Florida, we have some real clouds for once. Head over to drjasondean.com and full moon protocol coming. We got that. Full moon will be coming pretty soon again, and all is good. Yeah, get that. We have another couple things coming out very shortly, probably in the next couple weeks, so check that out as well. But I wanted to come to you because do you feel like you're aging too rapidly? Now, I notice for myself, I don't feel my age, right? So I would love to hear in the comments out there, do you feel like your age, right? So I'm actually approaching, quote unquote, the big 50, my wife and I, right? Now, I don't feel like it at all. I don't necessarily look like it at all as well, which is a good thing, right? However, I talk to people on a daily basis who they feel like they're aging. They feel like they're older than they are. And we actually have tests in our office that I do if you're in our physical location, that we test for your biological age, which you are, right? How old are you? Versus your physiological age, right? And this is one of the reasons why, like, I wear a Whoop right here. I know some people ask me questions after they watch these videos, and they're like, oh my gosh. So I have an Oura ring. I don't wear that all the time. And I have a Whoop. And this is the higher level Whoop. I love the gadgets and the tech, and I want to know all of my data. So I wear them. The Oura ring I wear off and on. Whoop I wear all the time. There's more data in the Whoop. That's why I like it more. But I noticed, hopefully it's connecting properly, like it bounces in and out. So bear with me on the connection out here. How many of you feel older than you are? And I get a lot of people that will tell me, oh my gosh, I feel, hey, Brian in Nova Scotia. I get a lot of people that feel like they're older, but here's the other kicker. They also feel, whether they've eaten or not, or even sometimes not eating, sometimes just water, which is shocker. They feel the distended abdomen, right? Like the belly starts hanging down a little bit. They feel puffy, very inflamed. They might have digestive problems, and their gut actually comes out after they eat, or sometimes even just after they drink something. Your body's not supposed to do that. You might have heard of things like SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Now, this data I have not found out there, and I'm actually searching and discovering this stuff right now. The moon's effect on our gut right now. What does that mean? We know the full moon affects parasites. We know it affects bacteria. We also know it affects the tides, so water, right? And humans are 70 or 80% water, something like that. So during full moon and new moon, I will get a lot of people who say they feel the bloating more, kick up, the psoriasis, the eczema, etc. So what's happening is the moon phases, the energy's coming off of that, okay? And again, my connection looks like it's going in and out, so I hope you guys are seeing this properly. I'll recheck it afterwards. What's happening is the parasites and the bacteria in your gut is throwing you way off. But on top of that, and whether you if you just feel it, that's one thing. Sometimes, obviously, you can read it if you do the biometric data on your health. You'll see that your physiological age, not your biological, you could be 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. The age of your physiology, your biochemistry, right, will actually go higher. So let's say you're 50, right? You might physiologically be 60 years old. You could be 55. You might be 5 or 10 years older than your biological age, how old you are in years. Why this is happening is because the actual parasites and the bacteria are overgrowing, and what they're doing is they're actually taking out your physiology. What does that mean? Do you get tired? Do you have fatigue? Do you have energy issues, etc.? What can actually be happening is the parasites, especially like roundworms and tapeworms, they're nasty. The bad bacterias, right? They actually take out your mitochondria. So you used to have energy. You used to feel great. You used to sleep great. You used to have you used to be on top of the mountain. And then all of a sudden at some point, you started feeling more tired. You started not sleeping super well. You started feeling off, right? And what happened is those parasites, those bacteria, and the toxins are holding them down. Even mold's a big one. They actually tear down your mitochondria in your gut. And by the way, you have tons and tons of mitochondria in your gut. So when the mitochondria gets torn down by all these infections, parasites, bacteria, etc., you will not feel yourself. You will not feel energy. You will not feel good. You will not sleep. And your physiological age will go higher. You will feel not so good. You will not feel yourself anymore. And what I'm actually trying to put together behind the scenes is to try to get this really narrowed down on the full moon and new moon process, because the full moon sends this off. The new moon sends this off. This is why when I do the full moon protocol, for those of you who've done it out there, we usually do it, or we start typically, and you can start anytime. A lot of people ask that question, oh my gosh, it's not the full moon, it's not the moon, new moon, I don't know what to do. You can do it at any time. I take stuff off and on just to make sure I'm purging things out. But we wait for that gigantic energy mountain within about a day or two before a full moon, or a day or two before a new moon. Why do we do that? Because we know that's when the activation happens in the bodily fluids. That's when we know the parasites kick up. That's when we know the bacteria kicks up. So we can go after that hardcore, and we can actually hit the barrier that are the parasites and bacteria that are going nuts, right? And on top of that, that's also when they're laying eggs. That's when eggs are hatching. You're getting this explosion of parasites and bacteria. So the real message here today is, do you have that distended belly, the distended abdomen? Do you feel puffy? Do you feel inflamed? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel it in that gut? You probably have things like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. You have leaky gut, etc. The problem is these pathogens, or infections as we call them, they are making you feel older than you are. So you might only be 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. The problem is, and over a period of time, they start outgrowing and they start defeating your immune system. They start defeating your physiology. They start defeating your mitochondria. And you actually start going downhill more and more. You get more tired. You feel like your body's breaking down more. And your physiological age, the feeling that you have, gets worse and worse and worse. And quite frankly, as you know, if you do visit a medical doctor, which I have a lot of people who still visit medical doctors, they will medicate you. They will try to medicate your symptoms to make you feel better. And I call this pharma fatigue. Are you tired? Are you exhausted? But does that lead you to going to pharma, to a medical doctor, getting the medications? And I know a lot of people say, I won't do that anymore. I don't like doctors. I don't like pharmaceutical meds. I don't like... When people don't feel good, they want to feel better. They want those symptoms to go away, and people still do reach out many, many times for the pharmaceutical meds. So we need to help you not reverse your age. What if we actually getting you just feeling better than your age? What if you could feel 5, 10 years younger than you actually biologically are? Got to go after those parasites. We have to go after those infections, those bacteria, etc., and knock that stuff out. Brian says I got rid of parasites and other things. Took me a long time, but it's a must. Keep educating. I appreciate it. Absolutely. He now feels so much better one day at a time, better every day. And that's what it takes, everybody. Keep an eye out. We've got some cool new stuff coming. Head over to drjasond.com. You can get the full moon protocol, the liquid protocol. You can get paradysbiozyme, and check at the top, the MVX Plus test, metabolic vulnerability index tests. You can also go to drjasond.com/MVX. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the weather if it's good.